Hi Libra, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. Check them out for all three so that you know which part of you I resonate with most as a reader. With that said, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week this week, you have there's all going on. Your key to the week this week, you have the Empress, right? So you'll be glad to know that this week you get to kind of take it a little bit easy. Remember the Venus? The Empress is Venus, and Venus is a lady, darling. She likes things to be smooth, easy, cool, calm, collected. She likes to take her time, and this is your ruling planet's energy in a tarot card, right? So that's wonderful. And what it means is this week, the way that you express yourself is actually, you know, considering everybody else is running around like a headless chicken, maybe the way that you are received this week is actually loud and clear. And more importantly, you get the results that you're looking for in all of these different areas of your life smoothly, easily, right? So this is not a week to rush or to push. For your actions and options, you have the moon card. So the moon card is the past. It can also be so for those of you that are traveling this week or planning travel, this does suggest that maybe you are going to a hot, lush or tropical sort of climate, somewhere that's equatorial in its location. So this could be any one of the islands that people know, like the Maldives. It could be Fiji, Bali, all of those kinds of places. It could also possibly be, because your actions and options is about what you do, maybe this is you this week really feeling like you're in the right space to address or to complete something from your past that requires a bit of a delicate or a more precise touch than usual. Either which way, this is going to be a week where I think you'll be a lot more in touch with your emotions than ever before. In terms of the options that are available to you, this is a reconnection with somebody from your past that allows you to see things in a very different light. And one thing that I will say to you on that front as well, it's very possible that it's very possible that you're like the rose tinted glasses around something in your life are coming off, but it's not like they're being ripped off. It's like they're slowly, like layers, right? Like being peeled back. Now for your communications and conversations, look at this. You've got the Empress. This is a connection with a woman, right? This will be what I would call a mover and a shaker, somebody that has a real presence, somebody who is, maybe a real head turner, somebody that, to look at is very easy on the eyes, but also this means that the communication is easy. It flows freely this week. And I will say to you, if there are things that you have to express on a deeper level, this is the week to have those conversations. The other thing that comes up with this as well, remember with your Empress card, because the Empress is a universal significator of women. So in the career sector or around the studies, you are getting help and or support from feminine or women figures in your life. And these are people that can absolutely help you. Now, one of them is coming back into the fold. So maybe you've spoken to this person before, maybe you've been in touch and lost touch, maybe you were communicating about something, but it went awry or astray or whatever the case might be. Now, for those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, this is you enjoying the holidays before you have to go back and get back into school. One of the things that I will say to you here, though, it looks like a lot of you are attending some kind of moon ceremony that I think this week could be really profound. Like the results that you get from it could be really profound. Now, another way this also potentially shows up for you, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, again, it's going to be a woman, right, or a feminine figure in your workplace, somebody who looks good, maybe maybe aesthetically their aesthetic is their armor, right? Like, and I've had a couple of clients like this. I had one lady who was so beautiful, but she was super fucking smart. And so, like, people would really underestimate her a lot because they would just see like the facade. And then as soon as she started talking, it was like, oh shit, like she's, you know, a brain, right? Absolutely. And I said to her, use that, right? Because you know, people are only ever going to look at the surface. So use that, right? Use it to your advantage. And she's out there now absolutely killing it. So watch out for this. If you connect with someone this week through your work as a boss or a superior or a woman that people just genuinely like or gravitate towards, this person is likely going to take you under their wing in some regard. And it's also possible that people discount them because of their looks or because they are naturally very nice. Don't you make this same mistake. If you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, solopreneur, person that works for themselves, one of the ways that this might show up for you is that you're working on the aesthetic of your business. Maybe this is your website, maybe it's your products, maybe you're smoothing out and streamlining and making more beautiful what it is that you offer to the world. And make no mistake, while it's not all just about the aesthetic, I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, unless something looks good and is uniform, people do not pay it any mind, right? Don't be afraid to play that aesthetics game when you need to. And, you know, across the board, in some way, shape or form, you got to glow up what it is that you're offering to the world, what it is that you're doing for work or studying. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, you better get yourself in that holiday chill mode. For your love and relations, you've got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups coupled with the Empress, this is somebody who is, you know, usually somebody that's either very easy on the eyes or somebody that is just so sure and confident in their own body that it's like they have that magnetic presence. So I'll never forget this. There's when I was younger, I went to Greece with my sister was actually living in Greece at the time. And they introduced me to this woman, right? And she was not by any means like, you know, she didn't have the size 0 waist or anything like that. But when she walked into the room, you knew she was there. She just had this absolute presence about her. It was like, I am that bitch and I am in the room. You will pay attention to me. And she never acted like a diva. It was never something that, like, she didn't command it like that. She was just so rooted in her own being and her own beauty that she never felt less than wherever she went. And it was the most fucking sexy thing you've ever seen. Like, she just commanded the space, right? And it wasn't like in a I'm a diva, you better pay attention to me. Like, she wasn't about any of that. It was just like her root. It was like right down into her, you know, stuff. She was rooted into herself. Like, I can't describe it, but it was such a magnetic presence. This week you're connecting with somebody like this, right? Now, if you are of same-sex orientation, you could be meeting a Queen of Cups who absolutely blows your socks off. For the guys amongst you, you could be meeting a Queen of Cups who absolutely blows your socks off. And for those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments that are in hetero relationships, it's very likely that you meet a woman this week, that you connect with a woman and you think, wow, you are what I want to be like when I grow up. Right, I've got lots of friends that I say that to, and they always laugh because they're like, aren't you like my age? I'm like, in years. But yeah, like, jokes aside, it's like you're meeting someone or connecting with somebody who enhances your relationship because they're giving you a blueprint to emulate in some way. And it's not in like a look at me. It's just like you see them and you look at them and you think, wow, like, you have it together. I want to emulate that. That feels good. That feels like what I would like my life or my relationship to look like. You got to nurture your relationship this week. It's the Queen of Cups, right? You have to mother and nurture your relationship in some regard. For those of you that are single, very likely a water sign woman, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, because the moon card is relatively close to this card. I would say they're very likely to be a Pisces. And then finally, for your money and materials, you've got the Three of Swords. So you will be parting with a fair amount of cash this week, but you've got the Empress, number 3, got the Empress, number 3, got the Three of Swords. Three threes represents success. And so what this means is whatever you're parting with your cash for, if this is something like a repair, you finally get to the bottom of what's been causing the issue. And I feel like for a lot of you, this will be like you'll be parting with a fair amount of cash and you're like, oh, you know, I've had this done twice already, damn it. And it's like, now I've got to do it a third time. It's like this time you get to the root cause of whatever the problem is. It's like you finally discover where the leak is, if there is one, right? If you've had water damage, it's something like that. For others, another way that this might show up is you're spending money on some kind of aesthetic procedure, right? And I mean, Mercury is retrograde, so watch out for that. Although if you were born with a Mercury retrograde, have at it, baby. And then when it comes to your physical health and vitality, especially because you have the Empress here, it's very likely that a lot of you could be having something removed or cut out of or away from the body this week. Potentially as well, a lot of you could be having biopsies. Now, obviously, I'm not a doctor. I can't give you medical advice. This is not a diagnosis. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. When it comes to your home and environment, this is a little more tricky, because this looks like it's the start of a potential forced move in some way, shape or form. So it'd be interesting to see how this shows up. With that said, and it might be, for a select few of you, it may be that the move is forced because you actually need more room to take in a parent or an elderly person. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. If you want your personal session with me, you can do so on the link in the description box below. Take care, and I'll see you soon.